Where did you find that chair?
You know, the dumpster out by the apartment?
No way, really?
He was sitting right outside the dumpster.
That's like a perfectly fine chair.
It's perfectly fine. It's got like some use wear to it, but I was driving by and I was like, wait a second. Jumped out of the car, took a seat in it, rolled it around, gave it a couple.
Just right outside. Just playing outside by the dumpster.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm taking this through in the truck.
You have to. It's perfect.
I was just going to golf and I scored this is probably like a $50 chair at least.
At least.
State, so, you know.
Use Etsy, eBay. Yeah.
We're working on, getting another chair, but, I'm lazy. And
the room itself is nice enough. This is a much nicer place to have. It's probably the best place I've recorded. And I've been doing most of these shows in my car.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've been driving one or two of my friends out to Thatcher's. We just sit there to overlook. Cool. It was cool the first couple times, but it wore its welcome really fast.
I mean, that's how me and my friends got started in just recording in general.
Oh, yeah.
You have a more legit op than we did.
Sort of.
Go to voice memos and...
just go to.
Just for the memes.
Yeah, just for. The long-awaited return of Ryan. It's been like 20 weeks or something. Yeah. This is 31.
31?
On my show, yeah. If we're doing my show, it's 31.
Nice.
And so you were on, what was it?
Yeah, this is my second appearance.
This is your second, yeah. You opted to watch a football game instead of doing the second show. I was left to suffer with my own person that I brought to do the show with me.
If it was a Jets game, then I support that decision to this
It was,
day.
No, it was the playoffs to make the Super Bowl.
Oh, well.
You were on episode 6. 25 ago, yeah.
That was earlier this year.
That was in January or February.
Yeah, that was early days in the loft when I just got everything.
Yeah, that was early days in the loft for everybody. Lofts changed quite a bit.
Yeah, now it's my main domain basically.
Is that your you have dominance over that area still?
That is my my territory. No, not really.
Does Connor still run out to go see Alex? Does he still hang out downstairs, or is she making appearances in the loft now?
Not in the loft, just lower level. She's not on that loft level yet.
Oh, okay. But she comes in and hangs out in I would presume the kitchen or something.
Yeah, whatever, the foyer kitchen sort of area.
It's just a little island hanging out, I guess.
Yeah, and Brooke and Addie are in now, so we've got a pretty full
That's
house
like That's like a real Love Island setup you got going on, a real reality TV show setup. If all the boys in the house weren't related, that'd be quite the interesting
That's what everyone
thing
says.
you got going on.
How do you guys make that work? Does everyone hate each other? And we're like, no, it's good. We just gotta. I made sure when everyone was moving in, I'm like, we're not gonna have it out.
Yeah, I would hope so.
We gotta be civil about this. People are gonna have issues. There's gonna be dishes that pile up, stupid shit like that. But we just gotta do them and cordial. And so far, that's all it's been. So.
I mean, I think the relationship web, where, all the girls are tied to you three, who were there first. They don't intersect without going through you guys in a way.
Yeah, very much so. But,
I mean, Alex isn't moved in there. I don't know why I'm saying all the girls. It's not just two people.
It's just Brooke and Addie.
Yeah.
I mean, so it started. Me and Connor were in there for 2 months alone, because James was wrapping up his state trooper work, and then.
What is James doing now, by the way?
He works for Brinks Security.
Oh, okay.
He's a truck driver.
He's a security license.
I think so. Oh, I mean, he was in the military and trooper, so he's got some sort of
clearance.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's been doing that for the last little bit, and it seems to be liking it. He was just deathly ill yesterday, but
with what?
I think he had a fever or something. I kept my distance. He was just in Maryland on the beach for a little bit, but
just a little vacation action.
Yeah, which was cool. It seemed like they had a good old time, so. We've been ripping the D&D pretty hard. I'm
not upset. Well, yeah, I'm upset. I've been trying to fucking get in that for so long.
This is our tutorial world, but it's been fun so far.
I would be fine with not being in you guys' session if I got the chance to do a little one-shot character, because I have 3 guys written up over at Malachi's house. I got my big old dice bag. I got everything.
Nice.
I'm just looking for one. I've been trying to get to play with you guys for like 2 years.
Yeah, we'll see, because Addie and James might be moving out, and Evan obviously just moved out.
I figured, yeah.
So he's like zoomed in a couple times, which is, it's all right, but long-term sustainability.
No, on that game especially, no.
Yeah, so it all kind of depends on how people go, but we're definitely going to do another world at some point.
I hope so.
Do you have DM capability or no?
I can learn pretty quick. I know I've DM'd a couple small-time games, but I might as well.
Because that's the only reason we started, was because Addie knew
Addie had DM.
And I was like, I always wanted to do this, and Con and Ev the same thing.
I can.
It's
I
right
totally
up our
can.
alley, yeah.
Yeah. I just got to get a couple like books and stuff with like the pre-built scenarios and all that. I can borrow some of that shit from Malachi, or I can just. I mean, the thing about Malachi, you haven't met Malachi, and I don't know if you've listened to some of the earlier episodes.
I've never met him.
No.
Not on the pod. Maybe at lunch or dinner or something.
No. I think Nico was the only friend I ever brought to dinner with you guys.
Oh. What about Casa Real?
That was Nico.
That was Nico.
Yeah.
Okay.
Malachi, you know him if you see him. I guess he's not. He looks distinct, to say the least. So, I don't know. I've tried. I tried to bring him to last year's joust. Him and Nico. They both fell through. I had a couple people I tried to bring to that just to expand my network a little bit. But
I have a dream. I had a dream about the joust.
What about it?
It took on a global phenomenon, basically.
Really?
It was just a dream, but in the dream, it was like Ultimate Frisbee level of fame, as far as like
C-list sport, ESPN2 regular.
Yeah, just like random stupid sport, but that had like a following,
I had this idea of so the thing about the joust at Bows and Kill that is unique, in my opinion, is that the beam is curved, right, and it tips to either side depending on who takes advantage.
Yes.
So you'd need like that exact type of beam.
Yeah.
I was thinking like maybe 5 feet in the air, little foam pit underneath or something.
Foam pit would be, I think, more fun.
It would have been like a cool summer project for us to do.
It would take
at
away
my mom's backyard or you guys' backyard.
Yeah, a foam pit would take away any like on the ground pulling.
Yeah, no, because there's no sustainability. Yeah,
because sometimes that happens on accident. Even like you're just pulling someone in, you're on the ground, and then it's like a very touchy area.
Yeah, the range on that is not.
Yeah,
and I feel like it's a small window.
We could experiment with increasing the length of the beam too.
Yeah, that's what I was.
It's very compact. It's like very like you only have a few steps.
So when I was doing all the birthday videos, I was going over, or when I was doing James' birthday video, I was going over all of his rounds, every single one. I think I watched and cut down like 110 rounds down to like 55, and he has like this year's and last year's he had like 5 with me, and in 3 of them we both sort of crouch down and stretch all the way out from the beam with one hand, and we're like already in the middle by the time they said who I think it was Evan says go.
Yeah.
So we if we could experiment with the length of the beam just a little bit. I wouldn't add too much size because that takes away from the ability to like jump over somebody. Mm-hmm. You'd have to like definitively knock them off and not fall off either.
Yeah. No, I think that would be cool. And keep the shifting element to it as well.
The shifting element is cool.
Because that is truly what makes it a balanced joust, is because it is a shifting like platform, so you have to. And obviously it's not the widest thing either. So.
No, absolutely not.
But yeah, so I envision that in like, those like trampoline warehouses basically.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Just like a suspended sort of pit.
Yeah, and then I forget what those gymnastic bars are called.
Oh, the
triple beam or something.
Yeah, not the triple beam. The
I don't know.
It's called like a horse or saddle, something, some kind of like
horizontal bar.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So something like that. We could even try it on that and see how it goes.
We could.
That could be fun. I'm sure it would be. Over a foam pit.
Plus, not having the wood chips. The wood chips really add a lot because once you go a couple, like they store so much water under there, and once you kick them up, the place where both people get on is just a puddle.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really work after like 4 or 5 rounds. Mm-hmm. Connor and John had to give up because they couldn't get any traction, even though they kept knocking each other off. They had the one stalemate under the new unified rules.
Yeah. And then, yeah, obviously there's like some obstructions, like that slide is kind of an obstruction.
Yeah.
And
Evan likes to cry wolf on the slide touch on everybody.
See, it was just instinctual. He's right that it was a not code action.
No, it isn't. But also, we didn't. So I guess this is my fault. But also, I tried to not really have a sit down with them. But when we were talking about, when I bring up the idea of doing this every year to Evan, and he starts telling me that people are gonna come and we have a date, I want to because he's the only person organizing everybody who shows up, but I'm the one doing like the rules and the getting the belts and stuff.
What, you want to sell tickets?
No, I'm not saying I want to sell tickets. I mean
that's right.
I want to input from everybody else who's going to be participating about what is and isn't good about the rules, because last year I basically made them up on the fly.
Yeah.
After a couple complaints, and then I just posthumously talked my way through the intro of the video with all the consistent things that ended up happening by the end. Yeah. And now this year I was like, hey, can you ask like what everybody's take on hand coming off the beam and then going back on during the round, or like the accidental butt slide touch, stuff like that. And then he just kind of never got back to me. And so we just showed up and I had to act like we talked about it.
It's like just built over matches. I think there's obviously always going to be rules that get formed and come up and stuff. So
James said he retired after I don't know if he made that announcement public, but he told me.
I've been doing a pretty in-depth film study on the, what's his name? His fighter name. Do you remember?
Oh, Purple Naked?
Purple Naked.
The Purple Naked biography.
This is a call out. Purple Naked, I'm coming for you. I've got the strategy. I need a best of 5 and
oh yeah, you didn't get him this year.
No, I didn't get him this last round.
You and Connor didn't participate. That's fine.
I got the film on it, and I think I've got a strategy.
You doing the Khabib call out, forcing him out of retirement by trying
to? I'll give you a hint. It's a GSP call out. There's a very hidden hint in there about my strategy, but that's fine. I'll get my revenge.
Purple Naked, I'm not impressed by your performance.
I am not impressed by your performance. And
I like the dinosaur.
I'm going to fuck you, man.
Are you intoxicated? Purple Naked, are you intoxicated?
Is he done? Is GSP done?
GSP, he's 41. He's done.
I guess he just came back for a little money and legacy at the same time.
Well, I mean, it was to complete people's 3 criticisms of GSP over his welterweight reign were that he
if you can call it that.
It was his welterweight title reign.
The Michael Bisping? Was that one? Oh, no.
No, I'm talking about when he was the welterweight champion.
Yeah.
Was that he didn't finish, he didn't move up in weight, and what was the
Who
third
moved
one?
up in weight back then that got belts though? BJ Penn was, I think, one of the first guys to kind of.
Well, no, BJ got the welterweight strap before he got the lightweight title.
Yeah.
So that was.
But still, moving weight classes, like, not a lot of people did it. Frankie did it.
Frankie never won a second
Frankie
title.
Never. Yeah. I mean, it's tough to do. I mean, McGregor was the first guy to say he was going to do it and do it. Yeah. That's what I think made him, because he said, he's like, I'm gonna do this, and then he did it.
And
he hoodwinked us all, motherfucker.
Almost. I mean, he kind of got derailed for about a year.
Yeah.
Year and a half, honestly.
I mean, he did what he wanted to do. He did everything he wanted to do. I don't know what he has left to do in the sport, honestly.
I think Nate Diaz ruined his career. I think the Diaz fights ruined his career. I think the second Diaz fight, as great as it was, took the welterweight experiment. The welterweight experiment got to his head about him being able to walk in and fight anybody at 170.
Yeah.
And then it took another.
But then he came back and fought Eddie and looked like the best he's ever looked.
Of course he did, but he would have had the exact same performance against RDA. Stylistically, RDA and Eddie are literally the exact same.
It would have been interesting because he was going from 145 right up to 155 RDA. But when he fought Eddie, he went from 145 to 170 to 155. Which you see guys like John Jones, GSP, before they moved up in weight, they went over and then cut down to that weight class to better prepare themselves.
GSP had trouble doing that though. Like he had to take a lot of
John's doing it's not easy, but John's doing it right now too, where he's bulking up, trying to get to heavyweight.
He's been bulked up for like a year already. He's been prepared. He just refuses to sign a contract because he wants top priority, which is completely understandable. But nope, he's not. Nobody's negotiating that. Like he's not able to negotiate that. And heavyweight's a shit show right now. The top end of heavyweight really sucks in the UFC.
And all the fights we wanted to see have happened, except for John versus everyone.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because we've seen Francis and Stipe that was like the draw, and now we've kind of seen that through its course almost. You know?
Almost, yeah. It would have been nice 5 years ago.
We saw Stipe
Twice.
beat him.
Yeah.
And then we saw the evolved Francis come in and knock him out. Like, I guess we can see that third time, but.
I don't like Stipe taking a year and a half off for anything. I mean, I guess it's fair to come up against John Jones, who's done the same thing and is at a new weight class, and it kind of gives it like equals out with Stipe being 38 years old. But
Stipe has always been like my favorite heavyweight. Just because he's like a very weird mix, like fighting style for that weight class.
His wrestling is very sneaky.
Yeah, he's got sneaky wrestling, sneaky hands, sneaky chin. Like, obviously he got knocked the fuck out, but like he can take a shot and still like hang in a fight.
Well, he's a heavyweight.
Yeah.
He realistically could fight Blachowicz at 205.
Yeah.
Like he could cut that down. And he walks around he walks around at like 225, 230.
But he's, a very blue collar guy, like cutting a weight. I don't know how appealing that is to him.
But he is a wrestler. Like he has that base already. He knows how to cut weight. He just doesn't.
I'm sure he knows. Yeah.
I'm not even arguing that he should. I think weight cutting is stupid in general. But yeah, like with Stipe occupying a spot at like number 2, just holding number 2. Gon's only number 1 because he got an interim title, which is fine, and then he got robbed out of the. I've watched that fight 3 times. He got robbed in that 5th round. And then
I gotta watch that again. That was good. That's a good one.
Blades versus Aspinall is the only interesting matchup happening in the division at all. Tuivasa versus Gon is completely unnecessary. It's semantics at this point. I really do not think Tuivasa belongs in the top 5 as skilled as he is. I think beating
he's on a win streak, right?
He's on a 5-fight win streak, but beating a 38-year-old Derek Lewis who is fumbling around at number 3 is
Derek is never going to have a belt.
Which is unfortunate, but I think having the most records or the most knockouts in history is a record to be proud of.
That's his belt, basically.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the kind of fighter he is.
It means the most at heavyweight in reality.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to win the belt, but you're just trying to achieve glory as far as like UFC goes. So
every time he knocks somebody out, he's guaranteed a bonus. Basically,
he
doesn't have boring knockouts.
And he used that to spin into his social media, and
he's okay.
He's living well,
No, he's always gonna be well off.
As far as like a beltless fighter goes, he's like one of the
he's up there
more well paid ones, I would say.
Oh, in payment, yeah, definitely.
Because honestly, that's what it comes down to. It's just being a draw. So you don't have to. I mean, Conor McGregor proved you can be a draw without a belt still.
I think Conor can walk into I think Conor can lose the next 5 fights in a row and walk into a title fight. Yeah. Until he turns for the next
I don't know.
3
that would
years.
Be tough.
If he's winless for the next 3 years, I think his star definitively burns out. But
it depends how he's losing too. Like if he loses that first Dustin Poirier fight where he just gets outclassed and knocked out.
He didn't get outclassed.
I thought he did.
I think what happened in that fight is
Dustin outclassed him. He took a little bit to learned his kind of what was going on, and then
Conor McGregor was not in the MMA scene when the low calf kick really made its way as a weapon that everybody who is a decent striker has. Khabib has never once thrown a leg kick in his life, and that was the most recent fight he's had in 5 years. Since the Reebok era where they had the wet paint splatter bottom part of the shorts, that second wave design, Conor's had 2 fights, and he fought Khabib and Poirier, and I'm not even counting Cerrone because Cerrone never threw calf kicks, and he was already 36, 37 by the time they fought, so he's not going to re-implement. He can't teach an old dog new tricks on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Conor, even the bouncing karate style Conor is still front leg heavy.
Ito movement Conor.
Yeah, he throws the
I love that.
The stretching 1-2.
Yeah.
And then he stays on the
back,
pulls back, but sometimes if the guy doesn't counter, he stays on the front foot to throw a second one, right? But that's heavy lead leg. Dustin would have chopped that down anyway. But that one weapon is not outclassing somebody because before Conor got finished in that second fight, he starts catching that leg. He starts catching it, dragging Poirier back to the fence. And if he hurt Poirier,
I think the damage is already done, though, at that point. You could tell Conor by that point, he was like, fuck.
It is literally only the last one that got him. Because one in the first round and one in the second round took him off his feet or knocked him off balance, but that's because they were heavy. They were heavy shots. But
he wasn't
only the last one inhibited him from moving. You see him get hit with it, and then Dustin hits him with that counter right. Yeah. And Conor does he backs onto the fence, which is the telltale sign
of ouch.
But he was moving fine before that, and he was sort of check. I've seen that fight a million times, and I've watched it in slow mo a million more. Yeah. And every one that he's catching Dustin's leg and picking it up, he's turning into it. Those ones that he catches he's sort of checked.
I agree, but I also know the facial expression he had on when that fight was in its final 2 minutes, and it was a panic. He wasn't slipping punches anymore. He was catching kicks. He was, but that's only because his leg was starting to get beat up again. And he tried to go with that floatier style the second time, but he just didn't look like the same floaty Conor that we knew.
No, he was way too boxing centric.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't blame him because of his career, how it's gone, because he fought Nate and he fought Floyd and Eddie. And that's a 3-year span of boxing,
basically.
Because Nate's not throwing leg kicks. Obviously, Floyd isn't. And Eddie fight. I think Eddie wanted to, but he got too much in his head. Because you remember the corner that kept yelling at Eddie, throw kick?
Oh, yeah.
He opened up with a couple calf kicks, and then I think he hurt his foot or something, maybe. But
what Conor had in the Eddie fight was that I don't even know how to describe this, but when I started boxing, I was practicing this all the time. Where Conor his upper body, his trunk stayed in exactly where it was, and he pulled both of his feet back and hopped back at the same time, but stayed in the same punching range. His feet went back, but he just bent at the knees, and that took the Aldo's doing the same thing, except he's just pivoting into it. But it's the same concept. And I guess without that, I don't know, because Conor's stance is too wide. Yeah. Or his feet are too far apart. He's not going to pick his leg up to check very well.
No.
So he had to get in and out. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's done. People call him washed, which is the stupidest shit in the world. James really pissed me off with this. He said that he thinks Conor will never win a fight again. I think that's complete and utter bullshit because
people forget the Cowboy fight.
He
ran
has
through Cowboy,
incredible capability, and Cowboy doesn't get put out like that at all.
He's still on a different level, but he's been fighting absolute world beaters, and he's a world beater at 145. Yeah, you go up two weight classes. I mean, good luck to you. I respect him for doing it.
He has nothing more to achieve at 45.
No, but I'm saying
the cut
as far
will
as
kill him too.
Yeah, that cut would kill him now, especially because he looks like a fucking gorilla now.
Beefcake, yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, because he could take shots easier down at that weight class. Because he could sit in the pocket more, and so he could take a little bit more abuse, and his cardio was better too, I think, down there.
At 40, I don't think so.
I just think he wasn't carrying around the same amount of weight. There's obviously like the debate about that because weight cut is you lose energy too.
I don't think Connor's cardio was ever horrible, but I can't argue that it was ever better at 145.
He went 3 rounds with Max pretty easily. Tore his ACL that fight.
He also grappled for the last 2 rounds.
Yeah, because of that. But I mean, grappling takes energy too, and he was like fresh the whole fight. But then like the Mendes fight, obviously he gassed in that one, but he was able to. Mendes gassed too, like they were both just going.
He took some pretty severe damage though.
Yeah, and Connor
getting hit really takes a lot out of you.
Yeah,
like it way more than one would anticipate because running, lifting weights, all that strength and conditioning stuff, it's no impact. It's not low impact, it's no impact.
Yeah.
But you could stand still, right? If you have like a perfect boxing defense and all you do is block and parry and you barely move, you could use the most minimal energy possible, but getting hit, you're going to feel like you ran a marathon.
Yeah.
It's horrible. But I don't know. His only like true gas out was against Nate.
Yeah.
Nate won. He went into the 4th with Khabib.
Yeah. Well, Nate
who weight bullied him
that is
for
Nate's
4 rounds.
Like 100 like attribute category.
Oh, is his cardio, yeah.
Like you're not outlasting Nate. So.
Not happening.
And then couple that with his chin. He's a tough 5-round fight.
I don't know how the fuck
anybody.
I don't know how the fuck Josh Thompson of all people is the one who cracked him.
Caught him with a freaking absolute baseball bat.
Oh my gosh. Destroyed his eye. That's so weird. I don't like Nate Diaz in the slightest. See, I like that.
You gotta respect him. But
I respect him for what he's done, but I'm on his side about like free Nate too. But as a I don't want to see him fight. I really don't. I buy into his personality not at all.
Yeah, he's yeah. I mean, I only want to see him 5 rounds. And against non-wrestlers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because then you'll get an absolute show every time. As long as someone brings a dog back,
I think he needs to fight Tony pretty soon.
I think Gaethje and him would be a slapper.
And Diaz?
Yeah.
It could be.
That would be so fun.
Yeah.
What's Gaethje up to? Has he been doing anything lately?
He had surgery. He had surgery on his nose the same day I did, actually.
Oh.
And yeah, but he had a total constructive repair, so he'll be out until like early winter, probably like November. They're probably gonna match him up with like Fiziev or somebody. Fiziev just knocked out RDA and he got his nose broken too. So if he goes into surgery at the same time, they'll be back out at the same time, and they're within 5 spots in the rankings. Fiziev's number 7 as of yesterday, and Justin's sitting solidly at 2. Or 3, because for some fucking reason there's no Oliveira should still be the champion. I don't give a fuck about that half pound. Nobody cares. The commission let them fight for a title. The title was on the line for Gaethje. The belt is made up by the UFC. The athletic commissions would let them fight, and they did. And Oliveira won, wearing the champ shorts, being ranked ahead. It didn't make sense.
I know. It's you gotta make weight though. Can't leave it up to the commission for that shit.
For a half pound? A half pound.
The half pound slide everything but a championship fight, right? Is that how it goes?
Mm-hmm. Which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Because if you let a guy, if you let anybody fight in any weight class and you give them 1 pound discrepancy for every fight except a championship, not a main event, not a 5-rounder, just title fights, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
There should be continuity, but UFC's weird, man. I don't know. I always wanted to. I kind of got out of it, I think, because the judges were just pissing me off so much.
This year has been the worst for judging in probably MMA history, in my opinion.
I don't know if it's this.
I think week after week, every main event that's gone to a decision, I've disagreed with since I don't know, February.
Yeah, there was and some entire cards that are just like,
what the hell?
What is going on? There's nothing that's consistent here.
No.
And even the commentators should be like, "Oh God, here we go."
Mm-hmm.
Like, that should not be how it is. Like, they should have, just like the commentators, like, just pick some freaking judges that just travel with the events.
Yeah.
Fuck the commission and all that.
My baseless conspiracy that I don't even buy, just the first thing that popped into my head is that they have to incentivize finishes.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, is fine. I think everybody should be hunting finishes anyway, right? If you're playing it safe for it's a fight.
Yeah.
Like, you can win by knockout or submission, and the other person can win by knockout or submission. There's really no justification to not just try and kill the other person.
Yeah.
Especially if you're hurt or something.
And that's the promotional piece of it, you know. They want finishes. Finishes sell.
But it doesn't, even me saying that, it doesn't track them giving the wrong person the nod every single time for the past 4 months. Every week, consistently, there's some bullshit that doesn't line up. I don't know. I'm going to get over it eventually because the people I care about, or the fighters I care about most, are they're gonna get whatever they want.
Yeah, I mean, those are just the fights that usually aren't even that entertaining that go to the judges.
The last Izzy fight against Cannonier, those scorecards were rigged.
Yeah,
I don't even think Izzy lost, but 50-45 on 2 cards, 100% rigged to see them. Because Pereira won, because Pereira knocked out Strickland, they had preset scorecards as long as it goes the distance. I'm 100% certain of it.
It's weird. I mean, let's talk about Izzy for a sec. He's a kind of fighter. I don't think he ever searches for the finish, but he knows how to pick the windows, better than almost anyone, I'd say.
I can't. I have no excuse for him. I really don't. I'm complete. So when I was first, when I was talking to Evan every day about this sort of stuff, about every single card, I was high on the Izzy bandwagon because the first pay-per-view I watched at college was him knocking out Whitaker. And then the Romero fight I completely excused after it happened because I was like, okay, Romero's the most dangerous, heavy-handed person at middleweight. Mm-hmm. And he made weight. So if he actually loses, it's not like a Whitaker 2 situation where if he knocks Whitaker out, he doesn't get the belt because he missed weight. He actually made weight. Yep. So if he throws one of those big round 3 bombs, it's over for Izzy, and he wants to keep his belt. That's fine. And then the Costa fight, perfectly fine. They built that up really well.
Yep.
They had a great rivalry, and then he knocked him out in round 2, obviously. And then since then, he's just been coasting. And it sucks. It really sucks.
Yeah.
I think I like the Blachowicz fight, him moving up. I think there not being fans in the audience really did a disservice to how good that fight actually was. Mm-hmm. It was a pretty dirty kickboxing match, and Blachowicz decidedly winning the last 2 rounds with the takedowns. But all there was for that fight was the commentary, right? At least with the crowd reaction. The comment, DC always feeds off the crowd reaction. Yeah. When something big happens.
It's hard not to. Yeah.
But when he's just talking to Joe and John, he's like, "Oh, that's a big takedown."
Yeah, much more measured and just cold.
Which isn't. I don't even dislike that from him. I think when he's less animated, he's much better on the mic. But that fight was good, even though he lost. But these last 3, Marvin, Whitaker 2, and now Cannonier, he's looked horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the metric we have of him finishing people on the way to his title run, he looks bored.
Yeah.
Like he can't be bothered.
Yeah. I think the UFC's kind of in a stagnation period a little bit right now.
They don't have their next star.
Yeah.
Connor's floating in the void. Everybody's still talking about him, and there's a lot of good things happening, but
yeah. And Khabib left, and it was very uprooted kind of fast, I think. Francis, like stopped fighting, and Izzy kind of started coasting. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things I think that happened at once that kind of just led to a little like a lull. So
It's whatever.
they just got to put a banging card together and it'll be back. But
They always do one of the end of the year ones are the best ones in my opinion.
yeah, the January.
Or no, the December, the November, December ones.
Oh, yeah.
Always good.
There was oh no, I'm thinking of UFC 200. I think 200th. That's when they put the canvas gold and
The Canvas Gold, yeah.
that was supposed to be
Jones Cormier too.
it's supposed to be Nate Connor too as well. But do you
Yeah.
remember he like retired randomly
Oh yeah.
and then he obviously did, and then they booked it for 202, I think. But yeah, that's how, I mean, Connor got me into the UFC, so I'm always grateful for that.
Yeah.
That's when I was washing limos and just actually
Oh my
it was
gosh, that was such an era.
yeah, and that's when I started listening to like Rogan and stuff too. So that was probably like 2016 or something.
Rogan's a weird Rogan was never that big of a. I still don't like him. Not that I don't like him. It's just like he's not the personality that draws me. He's a platform to me.
Yeah.
Like I never watched all of Rogan's shows and then be like, oh, I found out about this interesting guest.
Yeah.
It's just
I would
he had
always
people
pick
on
and
that I like.
choose
Yeah.
the ones I like, or
Because I don't have 6 hours of my fucking day. To
Exactly,
go through.
yeah.
He posts twice a day for 5 days a week, 6 days a week. I don't have that much time.
yeah. I mean, he's a cool guy, and you got to give it up to him, obviously, for like doing what he did. And I mean, he's been making podcasts like he's the godfather of it. The
Pretty much. Yeah, he's the podfather. Yeah.
So, but he's definitely
Praise be to he.
his greatest thing is always his guests and how like diverse and various they are. Like he can have some like historian,
Yeah.
like Egyptian historian on, and then next week he'll have Theo Von, and then he'll have
All the
like,
comedians he has on
Joey-
got me
yeah.
into other podcasts that I like more.
Oh really?
When he has Ari and Bert and Shane.
Duncan and
I got into Matt and Shane's secret podcast
yeah.
because Shane Gillis was on Rogan with Ari and Bert one time, and then he was on another one just recently.
Yeah, well, Joe's the source of a lot of people blowing up. Like,
Oh yeah.
like obviously you have to have a level of fame to be on that show, even. But as far as like taking that next step,
His
Like-
MMA hour
yeah.
is like the only MMA podcast I listen to, and that's on occasion.
yeah,
It's when the guests have clips that I find on Instagram that are good. I think I've only listened to Sterling and Cheeto, and that's it.
yeah,
I think I listened to the TJ one a couple of years ago to have an argument with Evan. That was it.
I listen to some of them back, especially like the nutrition ones. Sometimes those are like good reminders, or like well, I don't know. I found a lot of stuff interesting, like the longevity stuff, like longevity experts.
Yeah.
Like I'm always curious just to be tuned in on like what's happening on that front. And
It's
stuff.
crazy. It's crazy that people think Rogan is this like dangerous right-wing
Well-
alternative for young men when people like us are his demographic and we're just like,
He
oh,
is
that's
dangerous.
cool. That's interesting.
He could like form his own army if he freaking wanted to.
Yeah, but he
like,
doesn't.
No,
and he knows that he could.
He just has that power over the populace now, where if he says something is true, there's a large percentage of people that are going to believe it.
Yeah, but people don't like try to tout and like disrespect him for the power that he wields, or like the ability to misuse influence that he has. They like attack his politics, or like misquote him about something, and that draws attention to him and what he actually said, and it always turns out to be not true.
Yeah,
Every single
Well, he's
time.
very good at refuting it too. He'll like put a statement out, like get on.
Oh, yeah.
He'll just get on his phone and be like, "Yeah," he'll explain the whole thing and be like, and kind of be on both sides of it. And he's a pretty rational dude, I think, at the end of the day.
Do you remember when he was it during like the horse-paced era, where like he had one controversy where his initial like Instagram video response was like him in the sauna, and his phone was just exploding. It was not having it. You could like hear the CPU behind the camera because it was using like 140
Fogging up,
degree,
and-
fogging it up. He
Yeah.
like kept wiping the camera off. It was so funny. I might be misremembering what that was from, but that was insanity. It was so funny.
I like a good sauna.
He I was never like like a Alex Jones like realist or whatever. I was never into like the things that he actually says.
Yeah.
I like him as a like a celebrity icon almost, as like the J. Jonah Jameson type person.
Yeah.
Just funny in the Spider-Man movies. They double deck joke backwards, made him Alex Jones, which was hilarious. But
I never saw that.
having Alex Jones on like Joe Rogan, as much as people shit talk it, was just funny.
Yeah.
It was just funny. And then like other people like Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro, all that rabbit hole of like conservative like pundits or whatever. These people are all jokes. All jokes. Like, not even to say that like what they believe is all stupid or whatever, but they're just hilarious. They're just funny people.
Yeah.
And even if you disagree with what they're saying, like the hilarity that they talk about these things with is like, it's just fun to listen to. Cause you can talk about stupid, but that's what my show is. I just talk about stupid bullshit all the time, but I enjoy it.
Yeah. It's when you start mixing truths in with, I don't know, because Alex Jones, I mean, he said some things that are true that I really like.
Some.
Holy fuck.
Some, yeah.
But then he'll also say other shit that just makes you just go like.
Well, it's cool to
discredits himself. You know?
It's cool to let some of that stuff in with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Like I make it no secret that my dad's like a flat earther, like down the rabbit hole all the way.
Is he really?
Conspiracy truthist, yeah.
Like,
Which is weird because he has no like, usually those people when like you find them in the wild are always some kind of like Christian fundamentalist,
yeah,
or like some like
yeah,
Hebrew Israelite, like anti DMT type people. But my dad has like no like basis for any of the shit he believes. He just hates the government so much that like, if the man tells you that the sky is blue, then the sky isn't blue. Like that sort of thing.
See, yeah.
So I had to, just because he's my dad, I can't just tell him to shut up when he tries to talk to me about this kind of stuff. Throughout the course of me being from like 16 to 20, I just had to listen to him ramble on about this stuff for a while. And I never believed it or whatever, but it's a fun thought experiment to let just the tiniest little bits in, just to entertain it. And then through that, like I collected a bunch of, I'm not flat earth in the slightest, but I also like am not 100% concrete on round earth. I'm 99.9 repeating because I like to play devil's advocate on it. And also, I live on earth. I'm never going to not live on earth. There's never going to be a person in my life, unless a meteor comes and we have to go to Mars, that's ever going to go to space that's going to be relevant to me. So I don't give a shit what the shape of the earth is because I'm not an aeronautical person. I'm not a astrophysicist or whatever. I'm nothing that I'm involved with has anything to do with calculating distance and curve. I'm not a sniper, and I'm not any of that. So the shit really doesn't matter to me. Like honestly, the only reason I don't write it off completely, one, because it's fun to argue with people who like, my mom hates this shit so much. She's one of those people who like wholeheartedly believes that even someone like me who like lets the point infinitely 0.1% in just for the sake of argument is like complete horse shit because it's the stupidest thing ever.
Yeah. I mean,
but all that shit about like the pedophile rings, the flat earth, like the fucking devil put the dinosaur bones. Like it's fun to know, not even to believe in, but to know all the talking points just to be able to argue it.
I understand that. I don't.
It's fun to come up on a question and not have an answer.
And I don't think you should believe in anything wholeheartedly, you know?
No.
Because there's too many variables out there. I mean, I'm definitely a circular, spherical Earth dude, but, I mean, I don't fucking know. Like, is God real? I don't fucking know, but I don't think so. Like, there's so many things like that. Or even, like, just, like, old political schemes or events, just, like, oh, the government told us it was this, so that's what it is. Like, no, I'm going to always be aware of, like, what could else be going on, you know?
Well, asking the question is the most important part.
Yeah, I mean...
You just have to leave the door open.
That's when you just become a freaking, just a one-minded idiot, basically. If you accept everything that's told to you, you can't do that.
The funniest part about those sorts of people are that they think they're the smartest on Earth. They think that there's nobody who can refute them on anything.
Yeah, because they feel like they're a fact check machine, basically. They're just like, nope, I saw that. I read that article. No. Well, so I never believe anything, especially with government. You can't trust those guys at all.
No, you can never trust the government.
Like, I don't know.
It's so strange.
I can't even wholeheartedly say 9/11 was like the terrorists. I can't.
No.
Because you really don't know. Like, I have no inside information on any of that. So how the fuck do I know for real?
If it was just the towers, I think that would be an open and shut case. But if the Pentagon, hitting the Pentagon and the budget analyst's office one day after like $3 trillion disappear from the audit, like that's why would you have that? Yeah. Why would you let anybody know that?
Yeah,
that's like public knowledge. I'm not even like trying to stoke a flame here. That's just like public record.
Yeah,
and that doesn't add up in the slightest.
A lot of sketchy things.
Let me point the hat at the camera. Let me make sure.
That just died, I think.
Oh, whoopsie.
I think that's a good way to exit.
You want to do like a little... That's 46, yeah. That's cool. I had
to get me some actual headphones, I think, now.
This episode of Mischief Castle. I know, it's cool, right?
Because you can really hear.
You can hear yourself really good. I should get cans because the cans are way better. I didn't get to finish my little read. This episode of Mischief Castle is not brought to you by anything. But you get the free plug. You get the free family discount deal on the Gallup Property Group. Gallup Property. Check those triangles. Check them triangles. You should know. You should know the name.
That's 3 stacks.
Don't lease your house with anybody else in the 518. I'll kill you. Sick hat. Yeah, I'm gonna be. This is super breathable. This is my new
they bend a little shit. If you like them bent too. So they're
they're really good hats.
I'm happy how they turned out. I got the polo shirt on too, which has been nice, breathable. So
the ads suck right now. The one time I got enough traction to try and reach out for some advertisements, the middle of the summer. Turns out people don't want to buy things when they're just going outside and doing stuff. So there's no demographic that you can target to, and nobody. I'm not professional enough to set up an email for my media group yet. Even though I should, I have an Instagram page for all the shit I do, but no.
You gotta figure out who you're targeting. That's
the weird thing about podcasts is if you just post your stuff, like you're gonna be different because you have a website, you have a home directory, and you have all the other pages and stuff that are gonna lead to it.
Yeah.
But if you're just sending your shit out into the ether, RSS feeds do not tell you like what the analytics are for how you're being listened to, by who, where, like they just clump it into this amalgamous umbrella term of downloads, which is like a compilation of actual downloads, listen time, streaming time from release, all this weird stuff. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I've looked at it probably 5 times and I still have no idea what I'm reading. But regardless, I'll figure my shit out eventually.
I was just starting to get. I finally got the Google Maps profile for this, so I pretty much just got it ready. And I didn't touch it because obviously I want to put the website on there, and then I can funnel people to the website, and then they'll get reached out to me through that. But without even touching it, I think it was 75 people last week that clicked on the Google information of some kind.
Which I thought locality, that's really good.
Yeah, and just for not a lot of effort either.
I'll
take that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now I just need to tweak it a little and rev it up, and I'm gonna be looking pretty good, I think.
Yeah, you're in good strides for this. How do you? I'll just lead this
big time.
Go ahead. Question, I guess. How do you see as the cuzzo, as the outsider? I always tried to, because we have the way that we do jokes, and I have the way that I do jokes with Evan. But how do you guys run bits with each other?
Between me, Evan, and Connor? Or
yeah, because when you guys are together, I have no place in it. I cannot find my way in. I just can't do it. And I
very
outside of the Gallup
yeah.
household, I really consider myself to be a funny guy. I really would not have the confidence to do a show like this if I didn't think otherwise. But with you guys, I just try to stay quiet because I don't have anything.
I don't even know. I mean, obviously, you don't have siblings, so it's a little hard to explain.
No.
So I mean, that's just like, obviously I've known my brothers since I was 0 and 2. So it's just, imagine like just getting on the same page with somebody for that long. And we're lucky too, because I've actually had multiple people ask me this, like how we get along so well, even because generally there's some sibling infighting.
Well, you guys are all the same.
Exactly, and I just tell people, I'm like, we all have the same interests. We all like pretty much the same stuff. So there's always like common ground for us to, and then throw in our parents, who are just pretty good people generally and taught us how to be good people. So,
but even like James, I know James is like, has the last name, is from the same pathology of like the same fatherhood line or whatever. You guys all have the same common grandpa. So I get that the clan thing is the same, but he's still a cousin. And he seems to have the same dynamic with you guys as the rest of the family does. And not to like be a pity party or whatever, but I just like, I can't find my way in ever. And it doesn't make any sense to me because I know how I do jokes. I'll do that in a second when you get my question answered.
It's funny because I remember in the last video you posted,
what was that? I think
it was the joust. It was
Joust
the last joust. Yeah.
James' birthday one, or the one, or just the Joust
the most
4?
recent joust. And in it, I think you're like, "Hey, fuck you, Kevin," or something like that.
And
and Jenny was like,
freaked out.
And I was like, that is probably a good example of what you're talking about, because I could say that to Kevin in a different way, and it would be funny.
My quote on that is put that down, Kevin, you fuckhead.
Yeah.
When he was touching the belt, because I told him not to touch the belt unless he was going to compete for it.
See, I would have said, Kev, quit being a doinker or something like that.
A doinker, yeah.
So it's just like a more playful, less confrontational way to do it, I guess, which triggered Jenny, clearly. So I don't know if that's one example of it, maybe, is that we're generally, when just talking me, Connor, Evan, James, pretty silly around the family. Mm-hmm. So we try not to have any serious conversations, really.
No, I know.
And it's hard for...
your mom hates that so much.
Yeah,
she hates really it so much.
And, yeah. I mean, obviously, I can pick up on tones if someone's trying to get serious or something. I mean, they start talking like this. And I'm like, okay. But, yeah, and then obviously... I mean, I didn't know James that well until the last, 2 years, probably.
Really?
It was probably... I mean, obviously we always were family, so we always grew up playing together and stuff, but when me and him went on that road trip out west, and obviously we had to rely on each other for a lot of stuff, and then we were
Do you guys
together.
drive that whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, all the way to... I went to Washington. I dropped him at Colorado. We went to Yellowstone, Mount Rushmore, Colorado, Denver, the grasslands, Badlands. We did a bunch of shit. So, so that kind of built our chemistry, I think, a lot. And then obviously we lived together for the last year, which
that's different. I expect that much, but
yeah.
Even before that, even before all you guys moved in together, I don't know. Something fit that I didn't have, and I wasn't the runt of the litter the same way Evan was.
Yeah, I mean,
but Evan somehow picked up the slack ahead of me on that.
Well, I think that's to his advantage too, because he's the youngest, so everyone, especially when we were younger, just treated him like I don't know. They gave him more leeway on things, and then obviously as he got older and more comedic, he took that leeway as an advantage on a lot of people.
He turned it around on everybody.
Was the reason Evan's
strange
hilarious.
That they still expect nothing of him, and he always double delivers.
Yeah.
Ev, you got a spot on the show. So does Connor.
He's been on, hasn't he?
No.
No?
We were
We
supposed
should
to
have them on together. That would be interesting.
Who? Him and James? Or him and you?
No, Connor and Evan.
Connor and Evan? They have
some
a really
entertainment.
weird dichotomy in my mind. Actually, let me put a pin in that. The joke thing I was saying, I was thinking about this last night and I wrote it down, but I memorized it, so I don't need to pull it out right now. But my thing is like taking in groups of people that I don't have like dominion over. Because in my group of friends, I consider myself as the person who does the planning, basically.
Yeah.
I consider myself like that's my group of friends. That's not like a group of friends that I'm in my mind.
Yeah.
But with anybody else, I try to take like little stuff. Like I do like the SNL writer approach, where you just change one letter or one word of something, and then you take that concept and you run with it. And I usually will try to wait for somebody to misspeak in a way or bring up some kind of topic that is kind of lighthearted. The other night, I saw a trailer on YouTube for like a new Ryan Gosling movie on Netflix called The Gray Man. And he's like a John Wick type. And I was like, come on, that's too easy.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling is the gay man. Only on Netflix, July 22nd. I heard he blew an air pocket into a man's asshole and he exploded. You do not try to go after the gay man. Just some homosexual John Wick running on trains.
Yeah.
It's so funny. And then Ryan Gosling's playing Ken. Oh, there goes the camera too.
That's all right. We'll see
But
if that one goes.
I'll compile. If that one's still going, I might move it to center or something.
Yeah. Let's just see in a minute if it's still going.
Yeah, I'll finish this point and then I'll get to the other thing, and then I'll move it to center. Yeah, he's playing fucking Ken in the Barbie movie with
I know what you're talking about.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
Come on, Ryan Gosling is the gay man.
Yeah.
But that's what I do, right? And that works fine with James, and you're not horribly appalled by it. And Evan will usually help me take that somewhere else, but something like that doesn't fit with you guys, for me, in a way that I don't get.
Well, Evan makes fun of me all the time because I don't know actors at all. And I always mispronounce their names and stuff. And, I think we have a very improv humor as well, where it's very much just based on the way conversation's already going or how reacting to something, and then we just build on that, and then we just really beat it dead almost.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think you get to that level just being on the same page as people all the time. So like me and Evan have like an unspoken communication when it comes to like humor. Like, we'll laugh about the stupidest things no one else will even understand. Like, my grandpa used to like just say grace at the dinner table, or like sing a song from like back when he was in the army and stuff. I mean, Evan would just start laughing like.
Just pick up on one.
Shit.
Yeah, no, okay, that part I get.
Yeah.
Here, let me. I had my D book.
And then, so I mean, there's obviously jokes I would tell to those like you, Evan, Cam, James, that you, Evan, Cam, Con, James, that I wouldn't tell to like Brooks' family, for instance, you know.
That's out of the question.
Not until I got to know him to a certain level where I would feel comfortable.
They should be good.
Making riskier jokes, I guess, you know. So I mean, there's a level of just.
Congrats, you figured it out.
Thank you. Yep, we've solved it.
You got to get used to these. These buttons are really good. They're
know.
really good.
I feel like I could get too obsessed with them too.
You can put anything on there. I have the like the Among Us load in. I have
I think if you're ever doing a show with like different segments, it's perfect transition.
Oh yeah, because you can put your transition sounds.
So,
yeah,
right,
my show's a little too freeform for that, but I had the idea and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like. It's weird. I think of you guys like just you and Con and Ev. Like, there's a weird gap in my mind between Connor and Evan.
Yeah.
Where like I see like, but you are very distinctly between the two of them, right?
Yeah.
And I see Evan to you. I see that link there in personality.
Yeah.
And then I know you and Connor are brothers, like one to another, but there isn't that link there. There isn't that like Ev becomes you, becomes Connor, and then Connor from Colin. Like I see Connor, he has too much of a, in my mind, like a fixation on like being his father's son, and then Evan on the far end of that just is.
Yeah.
Right. Like he doesn't focus on it, or he hasn't like internalized that in a way that shows. So
can
having
you
them
explain a little more?
yeah, like and this I guess was spoken to me from Evan a while ago, is that he said when Connor went to Ireland the first time, that like he envisioned Connor's like dream being like having a pasture out there that he could just invite your guys' dad to, like as a thing. That'd be like he accomplished something he started something new for the bloodline or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what he saw, and then I kind of just rode with that, and that's been my vision of him, and it's only really been like baptized basically by all the talks I've had with Connor about like personality and where you view yourself and stuff. Especially like the last talk I had with him back at your guys' place, whenever that was, about like the sort of like personalities you show to other people.
Yeah.
And Evan, I know him to like observe that, not to necessarily have that same sort of like internal rationalization about, you know, who oneself is and all that. He kind of just is. He exists.
Yeah.
In a way. I know he thinks about stuff like that, but it doesn't come out the same way. So to have them on, like I haven't sat down and had like a talk with them, because this is such a different thing for the dynamic of my family potentially, because I'm never the one like in control of a space, but it's my show. So to have them both on and kind of just lead the talk on that is something I've never had before. And it's not scary or anything. It's just, I don't know what I'm getting myself into.
When you get into like family dynamic and like psychoanalyzing and stuff, it can get into like a little touchy subject for some people too.
And I don't want to make it about that.
Yeah.
Like I want to kind of come on and just laugh and let them do their thing.
Yeah. I know. But I mean, I'm just saying generally, because I know whenever I smoke weed, I think about all that stuff and I think, oh, how was I acting then? Or even just how I'm acting right now, or how I talk to that person, or I really dip into that side of myself as far as overanalyzing things when I am on the ganja for sure. And then I think it's very, not to shift gears or anything a little, but then you take stuff from that experience and then you apply it to your sober life almost. And that's, I mean, I know weed's not for everyone, but that has helped me so much in life. Just my maturity, I think. Because I can see different perspectives. And I mean, I can do this when I'm sober too, obviously, but see different perspectives on things and then apply them to your everyday life and stuff. And just how you interact with people and how people react to what you're saying. I find all that stuff fascinating. Because it's not that you're trying to like manipulate anyone, but it's just seeing cause and effect basically, and especially
it's hard to talk about it without making it seem that way.
Yeah, exactly. It really is, because it's almost like acknowledgement of it is admitting to being able to manipulate it, you know. But I mean, in my line of work, I do a lot of conversations with people in many different facets. Like I'll talk to clients, inspectors, attorneys, lawyers, other agents, you know, you name it. A lot of different people with different mindsets, with different pasts and different everything. So trying to find the common ground to everyone to have a productive relationship. It takes a little, I don't know exactly what the word is, but just observing and taking a step back and maybe tweaking your own personality a little to that it fits better for that certain situation.
I call that my mirror face. Just a blank canvas to just show somebody else that you meet that like if they need to be comfortable, whatever. You can't do anything about yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And
You never have too much fun around somebody new.
exactly. Yeah, you almost need to just do that just to get a footing, and then you can punch in, add in little bits, and you just see where it goes from there. That's kind of how I do it. And then the more and more comfortable you get with someone, the more and more you're just yourself again.
Yeah.
But you can, you talk to someone, there's always that, like, initial pleasantry. Oh, hey, how you doing? Like, especially you meet someone new, there's like, oh, where you're from. You get past all that stuff, then you actually get to know how you, like, vibe with somebody. But, yeah, I love that stuff. And then I've been reading the Dune books lately.
Are you still on those?
I'm rereading them. So
You're rereading them.
I got to the 4th, and then I decided to go back. And
of how many?
6.
6?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I thought, like,
was it just too much to take in?
It was a lot to take in, and a very, like, it was a long span of time in the books, but it was a very short span of time in my life. So I took a little break, and then I decided to go back and just reread them all, and I'm glad I did. I'm on the 3rd one again right now, but those books talk basically about what we're talking about, but using it to the millionth degree as, like, a political weapon and as a, like...
Oh, like how much of your face you show, basically,
Yeah,
to somebody?
exactly,
Yeah.
or manipulating people with words, like... Not that's what we're talking about exactly, but, like, they take that little bit and then just run with it as a concept for human evolution, basically. Which is so fascinating to me that it's, like... There's characters that already know what the other person's going to say before they say it till, like, years. Like, they can...
Years in advance?
Like, project scenarios years in advance of, like, how everything's going to react around them. So it's just cool stuff like that I think is really interesting. But not to get all sidetracked or anything, but...
My friend had a pretty good joke about, like, a skit version of it called, like, just Dude.
Yeah.
It's the exact same, like, movie franchise, but, like, in the movies there's nobody aside from, like, Samoans. It's just all the Rock and Jason Momoa and Roman Reigns and all that just being dudes. But it's the exact same premise.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool books. I mean, if you think that's interesting, you should definitely read them, because just watching the movie, it's really hard to pick up on.
I have a really hard time reading, like, just focusing.
I do audiobooks. Yeah, and
because I want to do the Witcher books all the way through too.
Yeah,
but I can't.
I'm definitely gonna do
focus.
those. I just need to get into a Witcher, like, you go through, like, little
stints
times
about,
with different series. Like, I might be on a Lord of the Rings stint in, like, 6 months. Usually around winter, I feel like I do, but I've reread those books multiple times now. So
I hope I need to get because once I get over podcasts, like listening to podcasts, because I have 3 shows that I listen to regularly.
Yeah.
And 2 of them that I need to catch up on. Only one of them I'm caught up on completely. And it's weird. I don't really get, like, burnout from doing the talking and then making it and posting it or whatever.
Yeah.
And I can listen to my own voice just fine. I used to hate it so much, but I can hear myself fine now. But once I'm caught up, I'll probably go back to reading audiobooks because I have the attention span for it. But I can't get into it because when I get into something I enjoy for, like, a piece of fiction, I start rabbit holing all the ideas I have about my own webcomic, and it's so many miles down from what I've actually, like, drawn and sketched out. I'm working on episode 9 is ready. 9 is ready to post, but I want to finish 10 before I get to it, so that I can make progress on the next one and the next one, and then have, like, a time frame to post the second one that's ready before I do that stuff. But I was just thinking the other day, as like because I don't really have a comedy relief character, and I'm expanding my world. In my head, I have this guy based on this comedian. Do you know like Chapo Trap House or Come Town or the Adam Friedland Show and that's it's fine.
I don't.
Not a lot of people do. It's whatever.
The Come Town sounds familiar.
It's
enough, but
it's so funny. But the head of that show, Nick Mullen, is this comedian, like, former TV writer. I think he's like a Conan writer or something. But he has this like recurring bit in the show. I take a lot of my bit running comedy style from him, but he has this recurring bit that I can't really pull off because I'm black. But he like turns the way that I try to like replace one letter in something. He'll try to throw the letter N into something, and then usually the other people on his show are white. So one of them will try to be like, no, 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 as he like slowly spells out the N word, or like encourages someone to think about this one thing as the N word. It's really funny. But I wanted to make like a character like him as comedic relief to another guy I was working on, who was like a tribute to this streamer I used to watch, who died in like 2018 or 19. It's like the first guy who got me into like YouTube personalities or whatever. I just wanted to, but I didn't have anything for him to do. I just wanted more characters. So if I gave them a dynamic or something, like that's just something that comes across my mind just by being exposed to something else. So it's hard to catch up on other media and stuff I care about when I kind of just rabbit hole myself into something that I want to make. Which is why it's been so hard for me to like finish anything in the past 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Like I finished one game during COVID. That was it. I played a bunch of games, finished one.
Yeah, I tend to do something similar. I take a lot of notes and stuff. Not because I don't have like a series like you, but I would love to write something one day that's sort of in like the Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, like just like sci-fi universe sort of thing.
We can collaborate on something like that, because I want to have Evan on the show one episode specifically to do Fire Emblem cast, because we have these like two different sets of notes about what our own game would look like, and I kind of want to draw that out a little bit. So I want to have him on just for one, just to see what I can get out of him, like writing wise, to like throw some of my stuff at him and see how it bounces back at all. Yeah, because you guys have the potential to do all that sort of stuff, but I don't know why.
Well, I can see
you guys are busy, obviously. But
yeah,
I don't know why, like as a hobby during like being in high school or college or whatever, none of you ever took it up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would love to do it, and I think I will one day. But it's more of like I view it as my retirement hobby.
Oh yeah.
Because right now my hobbies are Gal Property Group. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Which is
it's a passion still. So.
Yeah, but I still love doing it. But it's what I've accepted as my hobby.
Your pastime sort of thing. That's cool.
And it, it's gonna go as far as I take it. So I might as well take it as far as I can. Yeah. But so we'll see. And then because I have so many different ambitions and passions and things that I don't even know. I can see myself going 100 different ways as far as the next 10 years go. Even the next 20 years is like I could see myself doing so many different things. So that was always my problem, trying to find like a job I liked. Yeah. It's because I liked so many different things. Obviously, I was into fitness, nutrition. I really liked history. I was big into building businesses, like so many different things. Football. Military strategy, like you name it, of the amount of different things I was interested in. That it gave me like too much to actually pick one thing to do, because I thought I'd be making a mistake not picking something else. So luckily I was able to find this little niche that worked for me, or at least working for right now. So
it'll be a little bit harder to drop something like this if it turns out you just don't enjoy it.
Yeah, it turns out I don't really like this, so
I'm gonna retreat to my diary, to my keep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go work for a bank.
A little bookkeeping job, little
I don't even
diary
know.
Job.
For my shit collapse, I don't even know what kind of job I could get, because I've pretty much been working for myself since college, so I don't even know like.
Well, you could resume basically anything in sales, pretty much.
Anything in sales, but
if need be.
Yeah. I mean, I think I could get an entry-level job, so pretty good. But
of course.
But I don't know. I'm not thinking that
I mean,
way
building
anyway.
a business and, like, entrepreneurship and basically anything. You could apprentice to anything new you want. Because you have your own social media management. You have your own...
Well, I do a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And that's almost my skill set. Is that I can be very, very good at a lot of different things. But... I'm not very specialized in any particular thing too, if that makes sense. Like obviously real estate I am, but
jack off all trades.
yeah, I mean that's only one jack off. That's only one jack of like you can know real estate, but you got to know how to.
Gone. That's fine.
Yeah, it's been gone a while.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Oh yeah, I just figured since whatever we just have
I can
the audio
I can
still.
compile. Yeah, I can compile some clips or whatever.
Yeah.
Make it work. About a little halfway, 3/4.
All right. I probably got to leave soon.
Yeah, we'll do another 15, 20 minutes at most.
I probably got to leave in like 5 minutes. Honestly.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, bro.
It's okay. I honestly, we did what 45 and 30. Yeah, I can cut these two together, make it like an hour 10. That's no issue with me.
Yeah, I've got like a 20-minute drive, and I got to be there at 5.
Oh yeah, you said 5. That's fine. Okay, we'll call. Did Evan ever tell you about this little bit that we had? I think was this the only thing I wrote down? I had stuff written down expecting that my next episode to be with my friends who I've been doing the past few with. Mm-hmm. So I didn't write it down, but I kept it in mind. We had this. I don't remember how we were talking about this, but it came up somehow that like we were talking about like all the things that you and Connor and him got like from your dad about like just about him like in the household being like the one who cooks and mows the lawn. It does like all that the house stuff.
Yeah.
And then just how your mom is. And it was we were maybe like exfoliating on the homework boy joke or something. We got around to you like being a
let that joke die, all right?
It's not necessarily about that. We just got like down the rabbit hole, or at least I did, and he was laughing about it, of like you being like the not wearing the pants now that you like met Brooke, because Brooke is like a power lifter or whatever. So she has like more testosterone. I think that's the basis of it. But we had like you like having writing in a diary in a keep like today. She let me outside for 7.5 minutes. Ryan, dinner. It's your 5'3"
Don't show Brooke
girlfriend.
this because she will not like it. But that's funny.
Oh, Brookie.
Brooke, I did the laundry. She likes to cook, so I let her do the cooking. Yes, she do the cooking. Yes,
The
I
picture.
do the cleaning.
We were dying over just the picture, just the thought of you in like a sundress for some reason. It was so funny.
Sundress. Jeez, you guys are really ripping.
Just like a early June expenditure outside picking daisies and sundress.
Yeah. Well,
Brooke has like a dead deer. She just snapped the neck off over her shoulders coming back from the woods.
hey, she's awesome.
No, she's pretty cool. I think she doesn't. I think I made the first like 6 impressions really really wrong, but
she doesn't give a shit.
I know.
No, she's cool, and I mean, I always think long term on stuff, and she's someone I could see myself with long term, just because
I hope so.
she's very disciplined and she does a lot of cool stuff that if we ever have kids, I'd want her to pass on. So. Yeah, she's a badass bitch, Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'll do the fucking dishes if I want to, all right?
She's definitely the winner in a battle royale between
She
her,
needs to get on the
and
joust.
Tori and oh my gosh, she would kill Kelsey. Can you imagine Kelsey snapping in half?
She would kill
Brooke on a blast double on Kelsey.
Brooke's not the most like athletic person. So it would be interesting to see her joust skills, but because I think James is the perfect of strength and athleticism, perfect blend that I think you need in the joust. Where John is an example, I think, of pure strength.
Yeah,
but I mean, I know he played football back in the day, so maybe he's just rusty or new to it. Or Jake, like pure strength, but no like athleticism, polish, like.
Yeah, he doesn't have the
strategy aspect to it as much, That's my observation. Don't come at me, but so
we got a lot of stuff to potentially work. I mean, if James is on or off the beam, it's whatever. But like next time, if Evan comes back by the end of the summer, I want to get all 3 of you guys. Maybe Connor too back on the beat, just us, honestly, because that's got to be conclusive. And Evan's so like dead. He has so many strategies on how he wants to approach things, and
yeah, no, he's good at that.
Plus, like, we got to make more videos and stuff on the like the voiceover edits and all that, like the scene reenactment. I feel like stuff like there's at least one of those things will come together by the end of the summer. Hopefully, I just like having big projects to give to specific people. Because all this stuff that I do on my own that I enjoy, I just send out into the ether of the internet, and then I don't really get any reception on it.
Yeah,
I don't really need reception, but just having something to give to my people is a cool thing.
Yeah. No, I love all the stuff we've made over the years. I think it's awesome, and that you've made mostly because you've been the one kind of piecing things together. But
trying.
Did you see my Moon Knight thing I made
for Lincoln? Yeah, he showed me that. He was really.
It wasn't very good, but I mean,
just slapping a towel in the bathroom. It was so funny.
We were on a low budget and low time constriction, but we made it work. He liked it.
I wish I was.
That was all iPad editing stuff right there.
Oh yeah, iMovie, classic.
Yep.
Classic iMovie. All right, we can call it there. I'll stitch these two together. We'll call it.